Greetings. This is Coach Veronica Marie, and I'm here to help you live a healthier and a happier life. Today, the topic is finding meaning and purpose. Since the early part of last year, I have been in the most unbelievable situations where health is concerned. Many times I have felt speechless about the information that I've received. And because of these experiences, I have taken the opportunity to think very deeply into life. And I found that a lot of things that we concern ourselves with either don't mean much in the grand scheme of things, or we have totally received the wrong ideas about those things. One of those topics is purpose. When I started in life coaching during the year of 2011, 2012, there was this trendy topic of finding your purpose. In Christianity, there was the trendy topic of finding your purpose and using your gifts to the extent that people felt lost. And I know that's still happening. They felt lost when they didn't know this grand overarching purpose. It seemed to suck the life out of them, and there seemed to be not much meaning in their daily tasks. And I had a problem with that. And I still have a problem with that now. Even as I dare to look at the meaning of life and what it has meant to me, I realize that there's something missing. And that missing component is that we start looking for the overarching purpose before we understand the smallest elements of purpose. We start searching for meaningfulness outside of ourselves, and we have no clue of what that meaningfulness means on the inside. When you face situations like cancer or any life-threatening situation, you begin to realize that meaning is not synonymous with usefulness. Meaning is not something you do. Meaningfulness is not tied to the role you play or how beneficial you are to others. Meaningfulness is not about your service in the community or the way you help people, again, or what you do for people. Meaning or meaningfulness is not something to do. It's something to know in a deep way. It's something that you embody in everything that you do, from brushing your teeth to eating to driving. When you see yourself as part of a greater whole, as opposed to this isolated way we think about ourselves that leads to such loneliness, it also leads to feelings of insignificance, low self-esteem, and confidence. Low confidence, it leads to feelings of worthlessness and questioning one's own life. Having this search on the outside of self for significance is detrimental. It leads to an inflated ego. We see this in situations where when hard things happen, a person is saying, I don't deserve this. We see this in situations where people are facing transition and life loses its meaning. We see this every day with people wanting to see their importance in the actions of others and the disappointment that most people feel in this area. Meaning is something to embody. Meaningfulness is an embodiment of your intrinsic nature as connected to a greater whole. What does that mean? It means that You know that every atom in your body is in purpose, has a purpose. Every molecule has a purpose. Every organ has a purpose. Every system has a purpose. Therefore, every breath you breathe is meaningful in the greater whole. You are a meaningful part of this human existence and planetary existence. You exchange breath with trees. That's purposeful. And maybe that's not enough for you because the ego wants to feel its separateness. But I assure you that the ego separateness that we desire is an illusion. It's a farce. You are not separate from others. You are not separate from the air that seems to be invisible. You are not separate from the trees or the soil or the sun. We are all part, interwoven, interconnected, many members of one body, whole. In the scripture, there's a question posed. Shall the hand say to the I don't need you? What does that sound like? In other words, as an I, how can you feel that you are not purposeful when you have a specific role and function? When you drive your car, it's purposeful because there's some divine orchestration that you are participating in. When you walk in the store, it is purposeful. It has meaning because it's part of divine orchestration. You are part of a divine orchestration. Every movement, every breath, every word, every blink of your eye matters in divine orchestration, the greater whole. But when the ego comes in and wants to assert separateness, you don't see that. And it results in a lot of suffering. If you plugged into your meaningfulness of every step, every moment, every aspect, every twist and turn, you would be led more and more to greater and greater ideas and more expansive purposefulness. You would. The way that we've been taught is to put the cart before the horse, to look for the greater purpose when you don't have meaning in your everyday life. So scale down and look at how you affect and influence people. That's meaningful. Look at how when you smile with your eyes, it invigorates another soul. Notice how meaningful it is to place your attention or acknowledgement on some person and see your power of influence. You are part of a greater whole. And I think we need to move away from this assertion of, I must be important. I must be separate. They need to see. They need to understand. They don't get me. All of this is suffering. Every bite you take is meaningful. You are part of a divine orchestration. I'm not saying that because it sounds so pretty and poetic. I'm saying it because it's true. You are part of this planetary, cosmic, spiritual, energetic human dance called life. And everyone has a step. Sometimes your step is leading. Sometimes your step is following. Sometimes it's a brand new dance that you've never heard before. Sometimes it's the same one, a brand new set of music that you've never heard before. Sometimes it's the same set of music and the same steps. Sometimes you're learning new steps, but all of it is meaningful. And when you understand meaning down from the smallest aspect and you live a life and appreciation for that and the sacredness of it, it leads you to the overarching purpose. This life is a journey. We take it step by step, sometimes leaps and bounds. There's a definite life path governing this. There's a scripture that says the steps of a righteous man is ordered. You put one foot in front of the other. There's so many people who are serving a great role in the collective and they don't feel that it's meaningful. That's proof of what I'm telling you, which is you may get to this great overarching purpose. You may go through medical school or become a philanthropist and still devoid of meaningfulness because we put the cart before the horse. You try to find meaningfulness in a degree, in a certification, in someone else's mind. You try to find meaningfulness in what you do, but meaningful is what you are, is something to embody. Even if you're just sitting outside by yourself on the ground, you are exchanging electrons with the earth. And someone may say, well, that's not enough. It's because you haven't thought deeply enough about this yet. Because when you start thinking deeply about it, you begin to experience your inner meaningfulness as part of a greater whole. You're not lost. You're not stuck. You're not insignificant. But you do need to explore the wonder of this existence. And I hope you start doing it now. I hope that calamity doesn't have to happen in order for you to begin to explore it. But if that is the case, you find meaningfulness in that as well. And that is it. My name is Coach Veronica Marie. You can find me on my website along with my books and a blog, this podcast, all of it you can find on my website at veronicamarie.com.